It's about passion for a sport we all enjoy. It's about conservation, education, community, and fellowship. It's about a single voice of strength. It's about being part of a common cause for the common good. It's about you. It's about us. It's our time to come together.
We're asking you to join us
and becoming proud members of American Catfish Association. You'll be happy you did. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, they are.
Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of ACA Live. I haven't done this since our 12 Days of Christmas. It has been a whirlwind of a year for 2021 into 2022. Everybody has been so supportive and fantastic, and we can't thank everybody enough for a very, very successful first year of the ACA. A special shout out to all the tournament directors that are part of the Alliance and the leadership committee and so many other great sponsors, everything else. The list is long, and if I started naming them all off, we'd be here till tomorrow. So we do appreciate everybody's support, continued support, to make the ACA that hub, if you will, that unifier of the catfish community. And little by little, we're getting there, and we're getting there with your support. So this past weekend, Friday and Saturday, we were in Louisville, Kentucky at the 2022 Catfish Conference. And we had the first annual ACA Awards banquet. We had probably close to 100 people there. Everybody seemed to eat well. There was some great food there. We had a bar as well, and that seemed to get quite a bit of activity, which was good to see. Everybody was having fun. So we started off with a kind of an overview. I made an overview statement kind of the year and where we came from and everything else, and I'm not going to read it tonight. But I'll end up posting it online for those that are interested. They can take a look at it and read through it and just kind of where we started, where we've been, and what we hope to accomplish. And that accomplishment is going to be due to all of you. So we, again, appreciate your support and continued support. We started off with the inductees into the first inaugural inductees into the American Catfishing Association Hall of Fame. And got a few questions today is how that all came about and how folks were nominated and how they were elected into the Hall of Fame. And what happened was George Young, who certainly is a very accomplished catfish angler and knows a lot of the players and those that have been around, and along with a few other folks, put together a pretty lengthy list of names of people that they thought were very, very deserving of it. And there were some terrific names on there. And unfortunately, not everybody made it in. So then what we did is we took that list of names and we passed it around to the current ACA Advisory Council and had everybody blindly vote on 7 of those nominees. And each one, based upon the majority of votes, was elected to be inducted into the inaugural class of the American Catfishing Association Hall of Fame. And my personal thanks to the Advisory Council and special thanks to all of those that were inducted this past weekend. Very, very gracious individuals. And if I may I'd like to go through the names with you as far as those that were inducted and give you an idea of how we're going to proceed from there. Now, on the ACA Facebook page, and we're going to load this to our YouTube channel as well, is the complete 30-minute presentation of each of the Hall of Fame inductees. It's about a 3 to 4 minute presentation for each of the inductees. And I think that you'd be very interested in hearing some of the backgrounds of these special people and understand what they've done for catfishing over the years. So I encourage you to head on over to our Facebook page if you're not there already and take a look at that video presentation. I think you'll find that those that were inducted were very, very deserving. And those that were inducted were John Jameson, Phil King, Daryl and Jason Massengale, Steve Douglas, Keith Catfish Sutton. Did I mention Steve Douglas? Steve Douglas. And Steve was very, very gracious. He came up on stage and he thanked the ACA for all they're doing. And Steve, again, we certainly appreciate that. Johnny Morris and the one and only Bill Dance. And again, I encourage everyone to make their way over and to take a look at that video presentation. These folks are very deserving of our respect and our admiration. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. How we're going to do it in the future. What we're going to do is the Hall of Fame members that are now in place, along with certain industry leaders, along with the ACA Advisory Council, will nominate a number of names every year. And this list will probably be anywhere from 10 to 12 individuals. These individuals will then be put in front of you, the ACA membership, for you to vote on. And we're going to induct 2 members to the Hall of Fame each year. And those members will be elected into the Hall of Fame based upon your vote. Now, that doesn't mean that if they're nominated, they can't be nominated again and again in years to come. So if you don't necessarily make it one year, chances are you're going to make it the next year. And let me back up a little bit. The original list that we had to choose from, there were some hard decisions that had to be made. And I'm not going to go into who was on that list, but these people were very deserving as well. And I'm sure they're going to make the list for many, many years to come. So anyways, so that's how it's going to work in the future. So as an ACA member, you are now going to have the ability to vote on who you think needs to be inducted into the American Catfishing Association Hall of Fame. We're still working on a home for it. I've mentioned it in the past of where we're hoping and thinking that it's going to be. But until we get confirmation of that, I'm not going to say anything at this point. But again, our sincere thanks to all of those that were nominated and inducted. And we look forward to next year and you, the membership of the ACA, voting on these very special people. So after we did the Hall of Fame, we did the announcement of all the division winners. In between that, we also gave away some prizes. If you weren't there, you missed out on some great stuff. Jeremy Ferrara from Rod Rippin, the director up there, was actually there, and he won this really nice soft-sided cooler that Mammoth Coolers provided us. And our thanks to them for providing that. We had a basket, and I'm going to see if I can bring this up here. Hang on a minute here. I actually went onto eBay and bought one of these brass, kind of raffle tumbler kind of things. And what happened was we took all of the names of every ACA member that fished any ACA Tournament Alliance event last year. If you fished it once, your name was in there once. If you fished it 30 times, and there were some that did, your name was in this 30 times. And I got it from the printer. I got this box of the names. They're little 2x2 squares on a piece of paper with everybody's name on it. And it was boxed up. He showed me, he sealed it up, and I took it up to Louisville. And when I opened it, I made sure I opened it in front of a whole bunch of people, and I put it into this tumbler, this raffle basket. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. Where'd it go? Hang on. I'll get it. Nope. That's not it. Bear with me here, guys. Is this it? Great. You mean to tell me it's not going to come up? Hang on. This is a new feature on the StreamYard thing, so I'm trying to get the hang of it here. There it is. Okay, so there I am up on stage with the none and only Steve Henderson. And what we did is that I wasn't going to draw the name. Now, you see that raffle tumbler in front of Steve? That was in the ACA booth all day long. And everybody that came along, and there were a lot of people, they gave it a turn. That thing had to be turned thousands of times, it seemed. And we finally brought it up on stage. It was sealed. It wasn't, nobody was getting into it until we were ready to go. I asked for somebody out of the audience to come up to draw the name, and the audience all pointed to Steve Henderson. And Steve Henderson came up, and he drew the name, and he reached in there deep, and he moved things around, and he grabbed the name. So we're going to get back to that in a little bit. But let's talk about the awards and those that won it. Hang on, I'm going to bring up a shot here of the awards. There we go. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth place. Everybody got some great awards. So let's go through that real quick. I'm going to I got a whole bunch of slides here. So let me bring up Division 4. There we go. Can everybody see that? I'm having a tough time seeing it because it's small. But those are the winners for Division 4. And look at the money they won. And there were prizes handed out for Division for places 4 and 5. Let me grab Division 3. Move that and find Division 3. There we go. I can see Sakoti Howard won first place for Division 3. Now we're going to post these as well on our Facebook page. Let me bring up Division 4. Hang on. Or Division 2, I should say. Sorry. There's Division 2 winners. Jonathan Keats, $7,500 for first place. If you're not an ACA member and you're fishing the Tournament Alliance events, get out there, get your membership. Just as a reminder, now, just as an ACA member, you have an opportunity to win a great Sea Arc boat. and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So, and let me bring up Division I. This is very awkward, and I apologize. It's taking time to do it. There's Division I. Rob Benefield, $10,000 first place. Congratulations, Rob. These guys work their tail off all year. You know, the way it works is that we take the best of 5 from each division. So in other words, if you fish 10 events, we're going to take your best of 5. And that's what you see on your ACA profile page. The system automatically takes you the best of 5 and shows you what your score is. Now, on Division I, however, Division I, you have to fish at least one event outside of any certain trail. At the end of the year, we have to go in there and physically go through it and look for your lowest score in a certain trail and replace it with the highest score of outside of any one trail. Rob Benefield had 3 of his 5 were 200 point events. So he won first place 3 times. So congratulations again, Rob. So anyways, we've got some announcements coming up, and I want to go through some of these things when we get back. I'm going to take a quick break, come back, and we're going to go through some of the other winners from this year's awards banquet. So hang in there for just a couple minutes.
Fear of failure is failure itself. The world of science rewards the ones who are willing to try and fail, because with the courage to fail and to learn, ideas can change the world.
It's about conservation, education, community, and fellowship. It's about being part of a common cause for the common good. It's about you. It's about us. It's our time to come together.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
From cane poles to crappie rods to catfish, B&M continues. B&M continues making memories for over 75 years.
Welcome back, everybody, to a ACA Live special. We're kind of reviewing the awards banquet. And I just switched over to chat, and I see that Keith Sutton, one of the Hall of Fame inductees. And if you haven't had a chance to read some of the things that Keith Sutton has published in the past, you got to go out and find some of Keith's stuff. Keith Catfish Sutton has been writing for many, many years, and he is one heck of an authority on catfish. So I encourage everybody to look up Keith's published work. Again, Keith, we're honored to have you as one of the inductees, into the first inaugural inductees into the American Catfishing Association Hall of Fame. Thank you. And that goes for all of the inductees. We couldn't ask for a better bunch of folks to be part of this very special inductee. David Funk wrote, maybe choose a Hall of Famer who's passed. And yes, David, what we're going to do is every third year, we're going to have a legacy inductee. And that's somebody who has accomplished so much for catfishing, but is unfortunately no longer with us. So yes, every third year, we'll be doing a legacy inductee. And we're open to suggestions. You know, this is about all of us. This isn't about me or anyone else. I mean, this is about you. Somebody made mention that the membership should nominate, and that will be a consideration. We will ask for the opinion of the membership, but with thousands of people, it will be a very, very difficult situation to kind of make our way through. So that's why we're going to establish a nominating committee, just like they do in many other sports. These folks are respected individuals that, you know, I certainly believe that the choices that they make to nominate will be folks that really deserve it. And then again, there's going to be a number of names put out there for the membership to choose. So anyways, so going back to the division winners, there's another slide I want to bring up here. And as I was going through all the division winners, I saw a group, top 5 points race, overall points race winners. And let me bring this up. These are the guys that had the overall points, the most points of anybody that fished last year. Now, Lonnie Fountain, I believe, had somewhere in the neighborhood of close to 4,900 points. He and his brother fished a lot of events. But again, we have to take the best of 5. And just because you have the most points doesn't necessarily put you in the top for first, second, third, fourth, or fifth in any of the divisions. But from now on, I think that it's going to be important that we incorporate the overall points winners as we move forward. So again, this is our first year, folks. You know, there's a lot to improve upon, and you know, we're open to ideas and suggestions. Things aren't always the best coming out of the gate. For the awards banquet for next year, we're not going to do a dinner. We're going to open it up to the public and everybody come in, and that's the way we're going to do it. We wanted to kind of make this first year kind of special. And again, we apologize that the live feed was so lousy, and that's why we're doing this tonight, to give recognition to those that were honored that night. Now, we use the raffle barrel. Again, everybody's name was in that hat, in that barrel. And before we drew the name for the boat, we drew a name for a Garmin Live Scope. And ACA member Robin Foster from Vass, North Carolina, won that. So there's all sorts of great stuff to be had as an ACA member. So Robin, congratulations on winning the Live Scope. I talked to Robin, and they have big plans for that Garmin Live Scope. So as we move along here, I want to give some special shout out to Steve Douglas and Hervé for hosting us this past weekend and doing a great job. If you didn't make it to the Catfish Conference this year, you really have to put it on your list for next year. Each year it gets better and better, and it's all because of the tireless effort that Steve and Hervé make every year. So again, thank you for that. Extra special thanks to my business partner, Steve Miller. He was there. Everybody got a chance to meet Steve. One of the brightest, smartest, guys out there that I know. And he's a tremendous asset to the American Catfishing Association. And certainly George Young. George has been instrumental from day one in getting the American Catfishing Association together and has pushed me like nobody's pushed me before. So we did it. I mean, two and a half years it took us to get here. And when I was up on stage and reading everything, I was getting choked up. I was cracking it. I normally don't do that. It was just kind of a culmination of everything just kind of, coming to a head. And I was having a hard time keeping it together. It was, I was talking to myself going, man, pull it together. But anyways, it all turned out well. Also, I want to give a special thanks to CARC, to B&M, Offshore Tackle, and then the folks at Pure Fishing, Ugly Stick, Ebba Garcia, and Berkeley for their great support. Garmin, obviously, Mammoth Coolers, and so many other folks that have made 2021 what it is and going into 2022. An update, and I'm going to bring somebody in special here. Brian St. Alma, as we know, and some of us, may or may not know, Brian had surgery back in December and has had a difficult recovery. But the good news is he's making his way to feeling much better. I think folks have seen him out at the last Cat Masters tournament. And if anybody knows Brian, this is not going to get him down. But let me bring in the one and only Steve Hearn. Where are you here, Steve? Let me bring you in the right way. There you are. Hang on, let me get your microphone on.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. For those that don't know, Steve Hearn and the Tri-State, what is it called? The Tri-State Directors? Tri-State?
It's Tri-State Tournament Directors.
Tri-State Tournament Directors, along with the folks at CARC, and we had a little bit of hand in putting it together as well, but certainly it's Steve and his group that are really taking the bull by the horns and doing this. And they have a benefit tournament coming up for Brian this weekend, March 5th. And Steve, why don't you give folks a little bit of an overview of what's happening?
Well, to start off, Jamie Bardsley kind of lit the spark on this whole deal, and originally was going to have it in Helena, and fortunately, Steve Douglas chimed in and he said, look, some people don't like to fish the river. The river this time of the year is very volatile.
Steve Henderson, you mean?
Steve Henderson.
Steve Henderson. You said Steve Douglas. You said Steve Douglas. It's okay.
Steve Henderson. Okay. Anyway, he thought that the river might have been volatile. He hit that nail on the head, so we moved it to Pickwick. And it's at J.P. Coleman, which is, I guess you would call that Iuka, Mississippi. And, of course, we're having it March 5th, which is this Saturday. Supposed to have beautiful weather. And we've got some good sponsors on board to raise Brian some money. And I know that those medical bills roll in after you get out of the hospital. I've been through a traumatic surgery like that before. It takes a long time to recover. It takes a long time to really get back on your feet and feel normal again. And we feel his pain, and we've been praying for him. And hopefully, come Saturday, we can raise a little bit of money and help ease the pain a little bit, at least financially.
Well, Steve, I you are always seemingly in the middle, in the mix of helping folks out, and that goes for
that's what we're supposed to do.
Everybody. I agree, and quite frankly, if anybody out there needs the help of the ACA for a charity, situation or somebody that's in need, we're always here to help. Obviously Brian's a very close, dear friend of the ACA and personally of mine, but I mean, there's so many people out there that are deserving of attention and assistance. So hats off to you, brother, for doing what you're doing. And who's all involved? Let's get a list of names out there that are involved with this, so that they too are brought to the forefront, for thanks.
Yeah, you got Arkansas area catfish hunters. That's Jamie Bardsley. You've got the Mississippi Catfish Trail. course, that's Brian Bone Collector Mayo and Cam, and you've got the the North Mississippi Catfish Trail. That's Brad Andrews and that bunch, and you've got us, the West Tennessee Catfish Anglers, and we've all four gotten together. We're all ACA Division 4 guys, and we all got together and got our little message boards, and we hashed this thing out, and it's going to come to fruition come Saturday. And one thing might I add, 3 of the Tri-Staters was in the top 5 of the ACA Division 4 points race this past year, so
including yourself.
On that.
Including yourself.
You know, I got lucky. But if y'all
Steve was there and
interested in the tournament, there's a cool belt we're giving away Saturday, and it's like a wrestling belt. And you can go to the Tri-State Tournament Directors Facebook page, and we got it on one of our ads for the tournament with all our sponsors, C-Arc, B&M. We've got Catch 22. We've got Pipeline. We've got Meat Hunter Rods. And I hope I'm not leaving anybody out.
Yeah, all great companies. All great companies, and they're all stepping up to help out Brian. Where can they go if they want to sign up for the event?
They can go to the Tri-State Tournament Directors page. Under most of my ads for the event, there is the ACA
the link for registration
thing at the bottom where you can click on it and it'll take you straight to registration. All you got to do is register with the ACA, and then you pay in cash in person. The entry fee is $250. At least half of that's going to Brian. We're still going to have some decent payouts. We're expecting in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 boats. And those sponsors that I mentioned have kicked in with some money. And we've got some cool door prizes to raffle off, and it's just going to be a big time.
Well, Steve,
and that belt's cool. It's worth everything.
I saw a picture of it. It is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But hats off to you and your
one from the Tri-State event. It's going to look good on my mantle right beside that other one.
Oh, so you're planning on putting this on and winning it?
That's right.
I don't know. I see Jamie in chat.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Jamie may have a different opinion of that. As will Brian, as will Brad, as will a lot of other people. So it should be fun.
Yeah.
And again,
well, Brad might be in the boat with me, so.
Well, that's maybe a little unfair. Yeah. Jamie Bartley saying, yeah, not so fast. Ralph Wiley's in the house. I had a chance to meet Ralph and his wife Tanya this past weekend from Santee Lakes Catfish Club. They do a terrific job in the Carolinas. Brian Norsworthy was there, and I'm seeing everybody in chat. That's terrific. But Steve, thank you for what you're doing.
Hey, before I go too, Glenn, thank you for what you do. You did great speeches at their inaugural ACA banquet. It was a great time, and God bless everybody.
Yeah, appreciate you being there. Thanks, Steve. Have yourself a good night.
Peace out.
Steve Hearn, he does such a wonderful job with charity events and his tournament too, as far as look him up. Look up the Tri-State Tournament Directors and those guys and all their events. Get involved. And Charlie Crook just chimed in. What did he say? CR's folks will be there too, with the new crew helping out, or with the crew helping out. Yes, CRC is always standing up and helping out the catfish community. I'm telling you, Steve Henderson and his entire crew are just stand-up people. So I'm glad we were able to get Steve Hearn on and to talk about that. We've got an announcement to make regarding the Tournament Alliance for 2022. We've made some announcements of some of the new trails that have come on board. Some of you may know or may not know, but King Cat was actually sold once again. And they are coming into the ACA Tournament Alliance, as well as the Clinton Lakes Tournament Trail. And that's Robert Thomas. And we've got a few others. There's a group up in Ohio that contacted us, actually 2 groups in Ohio that contacted us to come on board. Another one in the Carolinas. So we are going to be well over 200 events in the ACA Tournament Alliance points race for 2022. So if you're not a member, get your membership, get out there, fish some of these tournaments, have some fun, win some money, win a boat. It's all available to you. So talking about winning a boat, as mentioned, on Friday night, we drew a name from, I think it was close to somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 names. And Steve Henderson was elected. I had nothing to do with it. Steve Henderson was elected by the crowd to come up on stage. And let me bring this back up here. There he is. Up on stage to pull the name. Now, Steve reached into that raffle barrel, and he reached in and he scrambled around, and I actually encouraged him to really shake him up and scramble around, and he pulled the name. And then we took probably a good 5 minutes or so and kept everybody in suspense, and we talked about the great outboard motors that Suzuki builds, and the terrific deluxe Marine Master trailer that the boat sat on, and the custom wrap, and the boat itself, which is a 2021 brand new Sea Arc Protege boat, and it's a really, really nice boat. And the person I'm going to bring in here, okay, he won it. And I talked to him on Sunday, and he was like a little kid at Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Sea Arc Suzuki Marine Master winner is none other than Tommy Vaughn. Tommy, let me unmute your. Did you mute it?
There it is.
There you are. Tommy,
Yes,
you got
sir.
yourself a new boat, brother.
Isn't that awesome? You know, it's still sinking in, even after.
Well, I wouldn't use the word sinking with a boat, but yeah, I get it.
Well, yeah, we don't want to use that. The feeling of it that we got a brand new boat is amazing. And
It was. I mean, I pulled the name, or I shouldn't say I pulled the name. Steve pulled the name, and I looked at the piece of paper, and I looked at Steve, and we both know you, and we were both thrilled that you were. I mean, I'm telling you, man, that basket was mixed up for a whole day, and when Steve reached in there and he shuffled it up, I mean. Look, first of all, it's great odds, number one. I mean, it's not like 50 or 100,000 names you're pulling from or millions of names. I mean, it was just a few thousand names to pull from. And, brother, your name came out of that basket.
man, it's definitely a blessing. I'm looking forward to getting it all rigged out, and this thing's going to be maybe at the MRM this year when I get all my bling and dialed in. So.
I'm looking forward to seeing that boat at MRM. We talked about that. You said you're gonna get it all decked out, all equipped the way you want it, and you're gonna bring that thing to Memphis in September. So we're all looking forward to seeing it there, the way you have it all decked out. The other thing that Tommy was very kind in doing, we cannot make a legal request. We had just a courtesy request that the wrap remain on the boat until the next winter is announced. And Tommy graciously said, yes, of course. In fact, Tommy, you even mentioned if you want the boat to be brought somewhere, you said you'd be happy to do that. And that's very, very gracious of you.
Yeah.
And then he also suggested that next year he give the keys to the new winner which I think is a terrific idea as well.
Yeah, and it just shows that what the ACA is doing and as of catfishing. I mean, I've not been in the catfishing tournament series, but just a couple of years. Mr. Charles Crook is the one that's like, hey, let's go to Alabama, get with Stacy Gaston, and let's go fishing. And that was addictive, all the great conversations, the people, and what the knowledge learning. I guide all the time for cats and paddlefish and crappie and everything, but the friendships you build from the weigh-ins to the parking lot at the hotel, and it's awesome to see everybody come together. And the ACA has really helped tying all that together.
Well, we're trying, yeah, and it's due to everybody. It's the ACA as a whole, and that's what brings it all together as a whole, and that's so cool to see. And it's funny, I remember seeing you at the Sea Arc Invitational last year when we unveiled the boat,
mm-hmm.
and I think we were talking about it then and how cool it looked. And brother, now get this, folks, it's already in his driveway in Oklahoma.
I was fortunate enough to have Randall, that was happened to be in that area, and said, hey, I'm headed there, and your boat's sitting right here, and delivered it to me last night. And I tell you what, it is pretty, and I'm ready to get it out. I'm ready to get it on the water. And
now, what's cool about it is that you have a very, very successful guide service there in Oklahoma. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we own No Wake Guide Service, and we guide all year long, 365 days a year. And we do crappie, catfish, sand bass is what we call them. We also do bow fishing, but we're really known too here for our large population of paddlefish. And I'm fortunate enough to start out. I started out with a Sea Arc 240, the Pro Cat, and upgraded to the new Pro Guide. And now we're going to introduce the Protege into our guide fleet.
Well, I think the only one you're missing is the Dynasty. Did you see the Dynasty 2.0, by the way? Did you see that new transom?
That is awesome. And then
is it unbelievable?
Sit up there and bump off of it. That is a beautiful boat.
Yeah, it really is. They did a terrific job. Terrific job. Yeah. I told Steve, I said, boy, there's going to be a lot of used boats for sale because people are going to want this new Dynasty 2.0.
And I'm on the water for thousands of hours and thousands of miles in the Sea Arc boats, either brand or either size, and the comfort and the durability of them is amazing.
Yeah, they are. It's a great boat. Great company.
Yes,
great company, and just an unbelievable supporter of the ACA, and we couldn't be more thankful for their involvement. Absolutely. Now, the boat, they delivered it to your driveway today, correct?
Last night.
Oh, last night. Okay. So in the live well is a big banner.
Yes, sir.
You got to hang that banner up, put that boat in front of it, and have your wife take all sorts of pictures of you with a big old smile on your face.
We will get that done. We
want to get that posted everywhere. But Tommy can't tell you how thrilled we are that you were the first winner of the ACA Tournament Alliance Points Race Sea Arc Suzuki Marine Master prize boat. It's a great boat. Great boat.
I am truly blessed. I mean, it's an honor, and to win the first one and all, it's great to be part of the ACA, and just to be in the catfish community is just amazing.
It's a great bunch of folks.
I'd like bunch of folks. Everybody luck that's fishing the tournament for Brian this weekend. I've become friends with him over traveling and stuff, and got to see him when we were at Tawakoni. And a great guy. Wish him the best. And I'd like to congratulate everybody that for the 2021 Hall of Fame. That is It's a great accomplishment, and I'm looking forward to next year to see who gets the keys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this year, I don't know if you know this, Tommy, but this year we kind of changed things up a bit. Now, just as a member of the ACA, it's like a $50 raffle ticket. So you spend $50 for a raffle ticket to win yourself a new Sea Arc boat, and you get a free membership in the ACA. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
No. And there's all sorts of resources and benefits with the ACA, and having a chance to win a new Sea Arc boat. And then every time you fish one of the Tournament Alliance events, your name goes in the hat to win the boat. I just got a question. Jeff King asked, how many tournaments did you fish this year? ACA Alliance. I think we talked about this. What was it, 5?
6.
Six events.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just terrific that you had the opportunity to fish those. And wow, I envy you. I envy you. I think a lot of people envy you.
And it shows that I tournament fish because I guide all the time. And when I'm tournament fishing, that is a way for me to separate and relax and have fun and still be competing. And it's amazing to be able to enjoy the friendships. I keep going back to the friendships, and it shows that an ordinary person can win this boat, because I haven't been tournament fishing for years. I just started a couple years ago, like I said, because of Mr. Charles Crook and Stacy and all those guys, and it's a blessing. So if you got a boat and you want to get out there, I encourage you to do it, because you could be sitting in this chair next year with a brand new boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, you better bring that boat all decked out to MRM 2022.
Maybe we can have, my mom is the biggest Bill Dance fan, and I know she is watching right now. Maybe he can autograph that boat and I can get a picture just for her. And that way, when we frame the first,
she's gonna want a piece of that boat when it gets autographed.
Well, I know she'll take, maybe out the glove box or something off of it if we can get him to sign it or something. But yeah,
we'll make sure it happens. I'll make sure I have a nice thick silver Sharpie for Bill there, and make sure that your mom gets that autograph that she wants. And
she's great.
I think we could probably arrange a few other things for your mom too.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy, again, congratulations. I want to see those pictures. Everybody wants to see those pictures, and we want to see you in the Mississippi River Monsters event in Memphis in September.
Yep.
Brother, have fun with that boat, and again, congratulations. It's a terrific looking boat. I thought the wrap turned out really, really well on it. And we're working on the wrap for 2022 now as well. So
awesome, man.
Anyways,
everybody that was involved in Sea Arc, Suzuki, Remax Trailers, everybody, appreciate you guys, the ACA, and all the hard work. And let's see what happens this year.
Tommy, appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Congratulations once again. We'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a great evening.
Congratulations. There you have it. The winner of the 2021 ACA Tournament Alliance Points Race Prize Boat, brought to you by Suzuki, Sea Arc, and Marine Master Trailer. Great bunch of guys. Again, our thanks and congratulations to the very deserving inaugural group for the American Catfishing Association Hall of Fame. Again, John Jameson, Phil King, Daryl and Jason Massengale, Steve Douglas, Keith Catfish Sutton, Johnny Morris, and the one and only Bill Dance. Again, I encourage you on the Facebook page, just below this post, you will see a video. It's about 30 minutes long, presentation of each of these wonderful individuals and what they've done. And listen in on it. What they've done for the catfishing, the sport of catfishing, for the catfishing community throughout the years. Just a whole bunch of great people. So I'm glad we were able to recap this. Again, our apologies for the lousy live feed on Friday night. And I thought it was important for us to do this tonight. But again, we thank everyone for all their support. And we're looking forward to the continuing growth of the ACA, which is it's going great. I mean, a lot of people signed up at the Catfish Conference, and there's members trickling in every day, which is great to see. We're going to make an announcement regarding all these new tournament trails, and we're going to have all of those posted too. I know we're a little bit behind on the tournament pages on the ACA website. We still have a lot of the 2021 stuff there, but I've been busier than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I think that's how the saying goes. Or a one-legged man in a kicking contest. I don't know. I've heard so many different analogies. It's a riot. But again, thank you everybody for being at the awards banquet. That was a very, very special night. Very special night for me. And I hope that it was for everyone else as well. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're coming together. And it's great to see. And thank you for that. All right. That's it for me. We're going on 50-some minutes. We're done. Let me get in the chat here. Anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions, whatever? Let's air them out right now. Charlie, you're welcome. Larry, thank you. Again, it's your support that makes this all work. We couldn't do it alone. Whether it's one of you or me or somebody else, it's not one person, it's all of us. It takes all of us to make something like this work. So thank you for that. Jamie, you need your password fixed. Well, I talked to Chris. Oh, there's something else I wanted to bring up to you guys. I'm so sorry. If you're in the Alabama area, Birmingham, this coming Saturday morning, 9 a.m., okay, the Alabama Conservation Board is having a public hearing. We were going to be there, but then we understood that they only allowed 3 minutes to speak. We have a document that was delivered to both legislator Chris Sells today, along with the conservation commissioner for the state of Alabama, Chuck Sykes. And this is a formal letter as far as our desire for the catfishing community for the state of Alabama. And I won't get into all the details on it, but we have addressed gill netting, bag limits, jug lines, limb lines, trout lines, sport fish classification, enforcement of the regulations that are currently on the books and hopefully will be on the books, and violation fines. Regarding gill nets, there was an opinion of the justices of the state of Alabama Supreme Court, and we included those opinions with our document. We believe that this is a very well put together document for them to understand the position of the catfish community, as well as ideas on how they may move forward with regulations. Anybody that wants a copy of this, just send me a message on Facebook or send me an email, and I'll provide a copy to this. I also want to thank Josh Brown with I think it's Backwoods, right? Backwoods Guide Service. Josh fishes those waters quite a bit, and Backwoods Guide Service. And I bounced a lot of this off of Josh to get his opinion as somebody who's on the water quite a bit in Alabama. And Scott Kress also. I put this in front of Scott. He's had a lot of experience with this kind of thing, and a few others as well. So big thanks to everyone that has contributed to this. And again, if you're in Alabama, I believe Montgomery, and you want to be part of that hearing, 9 a.m. sharp on Saturday morning. And you're going to have 3 minutes. That's it. This is much more than 3 minutes. The beauty of this is we got it in the right hands today. This is being distributed to the conservation staff, the conservation committee, and the Department of Conservation. I should say the conservation. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, also the conservation board members. So they will have this well in advance of Saturday morning, which is great. And it's the conservation commissioners. That is what I was thinking of. So this has been delivered. I think that what we're proposing is very realistic. And we're looking forward to the state to give it full consideration. And we hope to partner with them to help in any way that we can. If you're going to be there on Saturday morning, let us know how it all comes together. If you would, give me a call, send a message. I'd be very curious to know how everybody made out. There's going to be a lot of people there. We're going to be talking about gill netting, and gill netting doesn't just affect catfish, it affects all species. And it's not only gill netting, but it's, a variety of other things that we've addressed here. So we're very, very respectful to the state, and we certainly appreciate the opportunity they're giving us to express the opinions of the catfish community. So thank you for that. With that, I'm going to say goodnight and thank everyone for joining us tonight. Again, anybody have any questions or suggestions? Here's my phone, and I'm always answering it. So we look forward to your ideas and your continued support. So with that, I'm going to say good night.
No matter how hard you try, keeping your rigs tangle-free is, well, challenging. Well, not anymore with Rig Wrap. Staying tangle-free has never been easier. Just wrap, close, rinse, and store. Simple, right?
Wow.
No matter the rig, Rig Wrap has a storage solution to keep you tangle-free. From conveniently small to offshore extra large, you'll never worry about tangled rigs ever again. Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution.
Hey, I just saved a whole bunch of money on my hotel room for this tournament. You know that ACA has over 800,000 businesses in that discount program?
Man, have y'all seen the resources on the ACA website? I mean, they've got everything on there you need to know about catfish.
All that stuff is great, but look at what they're doing for conservation. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not a member.